Hey everybody, it's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. It is time for Weekend in Reality. We're going to go over Love and Marriage Huntsville. We're going to get to the fakeness and the hypocrisy over there. And then we're going to get into Real Housewives of Potomac. And we're going to get into the grandpas arguing. And not the grandpas arguing, but the grandpas were gossiping. And the arguments that ensued from the grandpas' gossip. Look, both episodes are highly boring for both weeks. Last week, you all know, if you don't know, last week was Founders Day for my sorority. Shout out to all the Zetas. Excuse me. I've been out partying, y'all. I've been having a good time. I've been to programs, parties, events, game nights. Like, I have been out kicking it. This weekend is my last weekend of partying. Then I will sit still. I have learned that I am not in my 20s anymore. I cannot party the way I used to, but I'm going to do it for one last weekend and then I'm going to sit down. So that's why I haven't been caught up on the reviews. I didn't feel too bad about missing last week because outside of Marceau telling Martell, I'm better than you in every aspect of your life, do you understand? It was just a bunch of hypocrisy going on that we could cover this week because you know how Love and Marriage Huntsville do. They're going to repeat the same storylines. They are not going to move on because they ain't moved on from season 1 yet. But anyway, let's get into it. Let's get started. I am upstairs in my office, my bonus room, and it is freezing. It is freezing up here, so I'm not going to sit up here long. I'm going to turn the heat up before I leave. My son went back to college, so we haven't really been running the heat upstairs. And I've been working in the office, so it's cold. But I'm working from home tomorrow, so I got to blast that heat tonight. But anyway, y'all don't care nothing about that. Let's get into Love and Marriage Huntsville. Let's start with this week. First, I want to say, I understand Nell and maybe even Destiny have hit on some subjects that might be tugging at the heart. When I say I fast forward, it's not out of disrespect of what they went through in that scene. It's out of, I hit fast forward, so I don't know what they was talking about. I don't know what they were talking about. Now, you all know I do the panel with Erica and Kamisha on Sunday mornings, and they'll fill me in on what I missed when I hit fast forward. But when I say I don't care fast forward, it's because I really did not watch that moment. So I didn't know what Nell and Destiny was talking about with their parents and the grief and all that. I really hit fast forward. So we're going to continue that process with this week's episode. Whenever sometimes Nell and Chris came on my TV screen, I hit fast forward because I don't care nothing about their wedding. I know that they talked about grief and some other things and visited a graveyard. I don't like graveyards at all. I don't know where that came from. Like, I've never in my life liked graveyards. It could be a stranger's funeral. If I see you lowered down in that ground, I'm gonna start crying. I don't like it. So I just hit fast forward. So let's just move on. We're gonna start with, y'all. I started because you know I hate writing stuff down. I hate taking notes. But I said, let me jump into a little bit of technology. And I started taking voice notes so I can remember what happens in the scenes. So I do have a little bit of notes. I do. Where are we going to start? Trish took the kids to the trampoline park. I appreciate that because I like seeing human moments of people with their children. I feel like that's really them. The children kind of check Trish. I still stand by the daughter looks uncomfortable on camera, and that's fine. Not all children want to be on camera talking about their deep family business. But I did enjoy the scene. The children asked Trish if she's gonna get remarried. Well, first they said, "Mom, we thought you already was divorced. What you mean you ain't filed yet and you getting ready to file? You got this man living up in the house. We calling him daddy. We thought you already had filed." So they was cool with it. They didn't feel any kind of way about the filing because they've been separated since 2020. They thought the process was done. Trish says, I believe the son said, "Are you going to remarry Ken or get remarried?" And she said, "No time soon. She has to work on herself." I feel like if you really need to work on yourself and you really need to find yourself, get counseling, whatever you got to do, I can understand having a relationship, some casual sex. Everybody need a little bit every now and then, get hit off, broke off. But why you got this man in your house, or you and your kids in his house, or y'all purchasing houses together? Why are you living with this man in a married situation where the only thing that's missing is a divorce and another signed piece of paper? Why bring all of that around your children if you have no intention of following it through? Like, you got your kids calling this man daddy, and you got this man on TV disrespecting their biological father and saying just all of this for no follow through. I wouldn't be mad if you was just dating Ken and it was casual and you was doing your therapy and whatever, but I feel like it feels like the backwards of a man when they say, "Why buy the milk why buy the cow when the milk is free?" Ken, that applies to men as well. We're gonna get to you later on in these notes. Okay. Trish now met up with. Okay. That's enough about that scene. Trish meets up with Nell and they talk about a whole bunch of nothing. Trish is on her 111th version of what happened when she went to Martell and Melody's house. Because I don't care what she said, that was them people's married household. Up the hill in the mountains with the circle driveway. Yes. When Trish went to Martell and Melody's house, she now is admitting that they were talking about training, but at some point a Netflix film did come on, but ain't nothing physical happened. Like, ma'am, if nothing happened, why lie from the beginning? If nothing happened, why every time you tell this story, we hear a different version, or you add a different 2 cents, or you add another missing piece? You wasn't even going to talk about the Netflix and chilling until Marceau put it on blast. So you make it so easy for us at home and your man. Because your man later on in the episode said you have a guilty conscience or you have guilty comments, whatever he said. You make it so easy for us to believe that something happened, because for me, for Angie, Kiss My Cheeks TV, I think they screwed each other. I think something did happen. Maybe it wasn't full on intercourse, but maybe it was just some fellatios. Maybe he put his hands down her pants or something. I don't know. I wasn't there, but something happened, because if absolutely nothing happened, it would be absolutely no reason to lie. Moving on. I don't want to really dig into much about the grief situation. One thing I will say, a part of me can see why Trish latched on to Ken. When you lose your whole family, I don't know how many siblings she has, but to lose a mother, a father, and a sister in a 7-month time frame, and your husband walks out on you and disrespects you all in that same time, I can see her latching onto Ken just for her sanity, because I would have lost it. I would have lost it. I'm very sensitive. I know y'all probably can't tell by my mouth. I am not a crier, but when it comes to death in my family, I'm very sensitive. I'm probably the one that's going to break down first. Probably. But anyway, I can see why she latched on to Ken. I just wish she would be honest I I needed you, but I ain't really want you. That's what it is. She needed Ken, but she ain't really want him. Like, because if you wanted him, you would have been got divorced and got married or at least something. But anyway, let's move on from that because we'll touch on that later. Ken met up with his friend. I did not catch his name. In this conversation with Ken and his friend, we learned that Ken loves, I don't want to say that because I don't want to call Trisha a hoe, but you did sleep with that lady husband. You did something with that lady husband. So I can't say Ken love to save a hoe. You know, this isn't his first time. It really reminds me, I don't want to say that he's a female, but we usually hear of females always wanting to build up a man. They want a man that they can rescue and build up and, you know, help him out, dress him up nice. And then usually what happens once you build that man up, what he do? Walk out on you to the next girl down the street. I feel like Ken has that same thing where he wants a woman, because it's got to be something to say it. I ain't no psychologist, of a man that is attracted to married women, wants married women, wants women with children, and wants to create families with women who aren't available to create a family. I don't know the psychology behind that, but it's strange. And it's very strange that even your friend pointed out, you've been in these kind of situations in the past. You always with a woman that's unavailable. Like, when you gonna leave? How much abuse you gonna take? You ain't got no skin in the game over here. Them not your children. You could walk at any time. Why are you putting up with all of this? And Ken is like, when it's time to leave, I'll leave. Maybe Trisha really is an engineer and fronting all the bills, because I don't understand what this man is holding on to. You want a family, you want a marriage, and Trisha is not willing to give you that. Why are you holding on? Because they say even down there today in Huntsville, they still together. What are you holding on to? I don't know. In that conversation with his friend, Martell comes up again, and he says that Trisha has guilty responses. So it's not just us at home. We ain't hating on you, girl. That's what your man said too. Your man says feels the same way we feel at home. What you lying for? Why are you telling a different story in every scene? I don't understand, Ken, especially now. This is what I said on the panel. I don't understand why you so upset if whatever that lady did with Martell was before you. You shouldn't care. It's starting to give me, there was some overlap in Trisha's marriage, because Marquez, who is also a known liar. I mean, he is a known liar. We ain't gonna put too much on what he said. But Marquez did say that Trish was with Ken before he walked out on his family. I don't know, but I did say Trish needs some therapy, not a man, and we're gonna move on. And while we at it, Ken, go ahead and get on what's that, Dr. Greg? Whoever that doctor was, go ahead and lay on his sofa too. At some point, Trish says, or Ken says, Trish doesn't want to get a divorce because she's scared of what her family would think. No disrespect. But who in her family she holds in that high of regard? To me, I do give a damn about what my mama say. I do give a damn about what my daddy say. It's only me and my sister, and I do care about what my sister say. I say it all the time on social media. If my sister say I ain't wrong, I ain't wrong. Moving right along. My sister and my best friend, if I call them and I say I cuss somebody out and I said, was I wrong for cussing them out? They was like, no, I'll cuss them out again. I ain't wrong. And Trish, to me, she lost all the people whose respect she would hold at that high regard. So who else? Because I don't give a damn what my cousins say. Aunties, I mean, I respect my aunties, but I ain't about to make no life decisions based off of how they feel. So y'all can miss me with that one. Ken and Trish, let's move on. One thing about the one thing about these voice recorded notes, y'all know I am from Illinois, but I've been down south since I graduated high school. I've been down south since I was 19 years old. So I think my northern accent and my southern accent is kind of swirling together. And them voice recorders be writing down anything because it said, how can porn into everybody but forget to porn into yourself? I think that's talking about Ken when Ken was talking about he pours into everybody but misses himself. And I said, that's a you problem, Ken, because you're single. Why are you pouring all of your energy and all of everything you have into this lady and her family and missing yourself? But anyway, I'm over Ken. Let's keep moving. Like the note said, I don't grade fast forward. I got to start talking clearly into these voice notes. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of it all. Mel walks into the party and it's clear the group no longer likes Mel and the energy has shifted. Everybody showed up to the party before Mel. First, Destiny, that was a whack ass party. What did you have an event planner for? What was you planning? It wasn't no decorations. I didn't see any food. You did not need two ladies in an event space to paint two naked people. You didn't. And where was Nell's real friends? This was just a cast event. I didn't see none of Nell's friends. And we didn't have to have, oh, this the event planner and this the event planner's assistant, her mama. And what were they setting up? Y'all was just sitting in an empty cafe. I would have been pissed if that was my bachelorette party. Pissed. But whatever. Whack ass party to the side. Melody walks in and it's very clear the energy shifted in the room. We get to Mel versus Trish, and I don't like shit like this. This the kind of shit that be pissing me off. Melody sets it off with, I heard you ain't like me. You got a problem with me? And Trish was like, I ain't got no problem with you. And I don't even know you to have a problem with you. Ma'am, y'all fussing and fighting over the issue not at hand. Y'all sitting over here fussing and fighting about, you said I was still in love with my husband, and I ain't like that you said that. Well, I said it was a joke. Well, I ain't find it as a joke. Y'all going back and forth, wasting all this energy when Trish, you probably still do love that man. It don't take that long to file for no divorce. You had a whole scene of signing and notarizing the paperwork, and you still ain't took the piece of paper down to the courthouse. So you probably do still love the man. And it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that. Y'all are childhood high school sweethearts with two children. You went through a traumatic year of your life of losing almost your entire family and your husband. You can be angry at someone, but deep down still care for and love them. And it's nothing wrong with that. Saying that you still have feelings for him ain't saying I still want him to come in, move in, and knock my boots off. But anyway, y'all fussing and fighting over some BS when the real issue at hand, Melody, I need you to put your big girl panties on and stand on business. Ma'am, you were in my house when I was still married to that fuck boy, Martell, and you screwed him. No, I don't want him back. But your character of a woman who will come into another married woman's house and screw or do whatever you did with that woman's husband is somebody I don't want to be around, and I don't like you. And I would have stood 10 toes down for Mel for being honest. But y'all want to argue back and forth about some bullshit about you was acting funny at my party. And if I'm messy, everybody messy. All of y'all asses are messy. You on a Carlos King show. On the Oprah Winfrey Network. All y'all hoes over there is messy. If you wasn't messy, you wouldn't be casted. So can we please at least be honest? I would have really loved it if Mel was honest and told that lady exactly how she feel about what really pisses her off, because you told Kimmy. But anyway, then here comes Stormy, and I don't care nothing about Stormy, Disney, or none of their storylines. Look, it's time to find a new city, Carlos. I'm tired of all these girls on this show. Ain't nobody got nothing to talk about. Ain't nobody showcasing their real life. And the only person that is showcasing their real life is Trish, and we over her because she lied. Is that the end of my notes? Yep. So let's move on over to Potomac, because like I said, I ain't gonna sit up here all night. It's cold. It is cold. Where my Potomac graphic? Okay, let's get into the ladies of Real Housewives of Potomac. Do we want to talk? Let's talk about the tea first, because I done screwed up my notes. Okay, here go the notes. First, the tea. We all seen the reunion seating chart, and Karen is missing, and Karen checked herself into rehab. I know this tea is 2 weeks old, but I'm just gonna give my 2 cents and quickly move on. Karen, thank you for finally watching one of my videos and doing what I told you to do at the beginning of the season. I told you to do this shit at the beginning of the season, to check your ass into rehab, get some help, and that way when you come on the show, people ain't got nothing to read you down on, because nobody wants to read a recovering addict, especially when you're in recovery. We're not going to come down on you on that, because we don't want you to relapse. But I am happy Karen is getting the help that she needs, even if it is a front just so people can't drag her at the reunion. I hope a little bit of what they pouring into at the rehab sticks, Karen. That's it. Now, there was a little bit of tea that came out that it was what they call it ain't a termination letter, but a resignation letter. They said that Karen was quitting the show. I've been all over social media, TikTok and Instagram. Some people say the letter is fake. Some people say that it's real. I don't know, Karen. I don't want you to quit the show. I just want you to get help, and I want you to get some thick skin, because if you do come back, you got to sit in that hot seat for at least 3 or 4 episodes. At least 3 or 4 episodes. You got to sit in that hot seat for 3 or 4 episodes, Karen, and then we're going to move on. I think the last little bit of tea I heard from Potomac, Andy is hyping up this reunion, saying it's the best reunion since Monique and her binder. It's hilarious. Wendy is saying Karen was there, but she wasn't there. Look, all it's telling me is y'all about to drag Karen in these videos, but she ain't there. Y'all gonna do it behind her back instead of in her face. That's all that is telling me, Andy. Y'all about to roll them videos, and y'all about to get each lady on the cast an opportunity to drag Karen and make fun of her and read and roast and whatever else, and she just not gonna be there to take it. I'm still gonna watch Karen. Look, we done already made fun of Karen. Yeah, we gonna be honest. We made fun of you being George Jefferson's, or whoever, George Jefferson, Thomas Jefferson, one of them dead men's concubine. We done already dragged you, Karen. So I guess the ladies on the show need an opportunity to drag you, because the videos were embarrassing. And like we said time and time again, you should have took the plea deal, went to rehab, did about 2-3 months in jail, and then came back on season 10, whatever number y'all on. But anyway, that's all the tea. Let's get into the videos. Oh, Lord, I done messed up my notes. Damn it. Okay, here we go. Do we need to revisit last week? Do I need to touch on any of this? The only thing I want to touch on last week, I got to touch on this, and then we're going to get into this current week, because ain't really shit happened either week. Gizelle accepts Mia's apology for calling her daughters whores. That shit pissed me off. I told you I don't like that Gizelle Bryant. I don't like her at all. I don't like her character, and I see through Gizelle Bryant. And what pisses me off the most isn't Gizelle, isn't Mia lying ass. It's Wendy. Wendy. Everybody want to say Wendy is the face of Potomac. Wendy is the real housewife of the show. To me, Wendy is a weak bitch. You ain't have to say that, Angie. I ain't have to call her no bitch. I take it back because I kind of like Wendy. She can work my nerve. This season, she really worked my nerve. I ain't mean to call you no bitch, Wendy. I went too far. But you're a weak woman in this regard when it comes to Giselle Bryant, because you have every reason to stand 10 toes down, foot on her neck for eternity. Because trust, if production ain't whispering in that lady's ear this season, her foot will still be on yours. If Robin Dixon was not fired, what she say? I wish Rob, you better be glad Robin isn't here. You know how she said about Juan. If Robin was still here, her foot would still be planted on your neck. This was your season to drag Giselle, to give us some good television. If Wendy would have dragged Giselle all season, foot to the throat, I would have went up for Wendy. But all this fake, hey girl, that's what we went through a lot. No, I feel like Wendy is being fake for television because she wants to be on TV. And I have so much respect for you, Wendy. You ain't have to be ghetto with it. You could have classily kept your foot on her neck. Every time Giselle did something colorist this season, I mean, it wasn't really colorist, but the fact that she easily forgave Mia, but she dragged and tried to get you and Candace iced out of this show season after season after season. Like, that lady was coming for your check. Oh, but you forgive her. I'm telling you, I'm over it. When I just couldn't believe she just like, it's okay, we're just not going to talk about children anymore. I forgive you, Mia. It's the light skin, green eyes, where you can be a bandit. Go get you some contacts. Over it. Let's get into this though, because I'm gonna say something I'm probably not supposed to say. Let's get into this week's episode for 10 minutes. Up first, Ashley is at her drag king practice. Let me tell y'all something. I love a good drag queen show. I think it's extremely entertaining, extremely fun to me. I've never seen a drag king show, so I want to see what Ashley does. But even more than that, let Ashley be the best drag king on the planet, because that means we ain't never got to hear her sing again. Let her go ahead and lip sync some Luther Vandross songs, some Eddie Levert, some R. Kelly, whatever she want to lip sync. But let that whole lip sync. I don't want to hear Ashley hum another note in my life. Moving on. Jizzy and Wendy go to KK's spa. I might go out of order, but who cares? This is how I wrote down my notes. They go to KK's spa. Wendy pull up and she got a flat tire and she got to call the people down to the AAA and renew her membership so they can come change her tire. Like, Wendy, don't be a dummy. You got 4 degrees, ma'am. 4 degrees. When you see that tire light on, you know what I mean, to pull your ass over and put some air in it. I can't stand when hoes want to. Why I keep disrespecting Wendy? Why I keep disrespecting that lady? I can't stand when women dumb themselves down for reality television. Like, man, what if you really would have got caught up in the interstate with that flat tire spinning and out of control? But whatever. At least you got the tire fixed. Let's move on. KK. Wait. KK says this is the new It Crew. Her, Jizzy, and Wendy are now the new girls of Potomac. And I said, KK, you new girl. It's okay, girl. You brand new. You don't know that Giselle don't like too much melanin in her friends. That was the nicest way I can say that. You learn it. You'll get it, KK. You'll get it, because I'm sure by next season, season 10, production might loosen Giselle up a little bit. They kind of had to reel her back in because they was tired of us calling her colorist. But by next season, she'll be colorist again. You can only be fake for so long. So it'll never be you and Wendy. I hate to have to say it to you. It'll never be you and Wendy. She likes Ashley, Robin. You see how she forgave Mia for calling her daughter a whore. I hate to be the one to break it to you, KK. It'll never be you and Wendy. But let's move on. We get more about KK and Greg, and I'm confused Because one episode, KK is this highly independent woman. She ain't pressed for no ring. She checking her mama. We ain't begging for rings over here. But now this episode, it's gonna be 3 years in a couple of months, and if I ain't got no ring, then I don't know what to tell you. Ma'am, you building a house with this man. What you mean you don't know what to tell him? Is your name on the mortgage? Or can he freely kick you out whenever he ready? Not saying you broken to be stranded, but I don't believe in purchasing property with someone without a marriage certificate, one. And even with the marriage certificate, you better have your name signed on a dotted line somewhere so can't nobody throw you out of it. That's all I'm saying, KK. You and Greg aren't a match. Greg is a Marceau. He's looking for a woman to cook, clean, bear his children, sit in the house, shut up, and do whatever he say. He pretty much said it on camera, so I know if he said it on camera, he done said worse off. He said, when you get some act right, you can get a ring. Ma'am, I don't want nobody I got to act right for. This who you get. This who you get, especially if you paying half of that mortgage. Girl, please, go find you another man. At the end of this, KK reveals that Karen is on the Ozempic. They want to say, oh, we're so worried about Karen. She's so stressed out about drunk driving. She's losing too much weight. No, that lady is on Ozempic like 95% of the Hollywood. We are not about to drag or make fun of Karen for being on the Ozempic. Not at all. Now, when that lady says she got some diabetes running her family, Karen knows she be lying. But I ain't mad at you, Karen. You look good. And them hoes hating because you 60 and look better than they ass. Anyway, moving on. Let's get Stacey and TJ and their lies out the way. Stacey and TJ have a moment, some kind of scene where he begging to come over her house and spend time with Arabella. And that lady said, you ain't even screwing me when I'm bringing you around my daughter for. I can't even get none. You better screw over here in this apartment. Look, TJ, just 2 episodes, you was telling Giselle, these questions don't mean anything to me, or these questions don't count for me because we ain't in no relationship. And now you mad at her because she won't be in a relationship. Look, I like Stacey, but get TJ off my television screen. But Stacey, I need you to put your common sense hat on. Ma'am, you already said this man had secret bank accounts. He had bills and shit all up in your name that you ain't even know about. But you think he's going to be fair in this divorce? And you ain't signed no prenup, girl, if you don't go run and get your coins. You better go run and get your coins. You sitting up in this lawyer office talking about, I don't want no child support. I know he going to take care of his child. Please. Said every lady in the court begging to put their baby daddy on child support. Please. That lady was telling you right. Yeah, he'll take care of Arabella till he find another woman that be like, fuck that baby and fuck Stacey too. And now you cut off. I wonder, because I ain't no lawyer and I ain't never had no divorce or none of that either. If you deny child support in the divorce, and say a couple of years go by and he quit taking care of Arabella, can she go back to court and ask for the child support? I don't know the rules. I'm just saying, because maybe Stacey may say he doing the right thing now with Arabella. He paid for her school, her clothes, her housing, her health care. I ain't gonna pressure him for the child support. But the day he stopped paying that tuition and that insurance card, we going back to court. I want to know. I'm going to have to ask one of my lawyer friends because I don't know how it works in divorce. Because I know if that's just your baby daddy, you can take him down to the court anytime you feel like it. I will show Angie, don't go there. Angie, don't go there. But anyway, Stacey, get your money, girl. You ain't signed no prenup. You better get your money talking about, I loved him. Like, I don't know who I was listening to. Was it really me? I was listening to the Whether You Like It or Not panel, and they said the man you married is not the same man you divorced. Clock that, Stacey, and let's move on. What happened next on this piece of paper? The grandpas are gossiping. Right. That attorney was like, ma'am, he don't love you no more. He was taking care of you when he was in love, but he don't love you no more. If I was a lawyer, I wouldn't tell her nothing else. I'd be like, well, come back to me and pay me another retainer fee when you're ready for the child support. Go ahead, let's run this now, and you come back and pay me again later. That's what I would have told Stacey. For the most part, Gordon met up with Ray, and to me, I was like, these two men are not friends. I know Ray don't give a damn about the gossip, but Karen said, go get the gossip and bring it back to me so we could continue to make a scene. For the most part, Gordon, I got to say this first. Gordon is a known liar as well as his wife, Mia. Both of them lie. Both of those people lie. So I really don't know what to believe, and I don't care. At some point, Gordon said he had the kids for 90% of the month, 25 out of 30 days out of the month. But Mia can't trust him, and she's scared. What else he said? Gordon said he did a private, not a private, but one of them over-the-counter. We ain't found about over-the-counter, but he did a paternity test on, is it Jeremiah? The boy. He did a paternity test, and that is his son. So Mia needs to quit telling people it might be Inks. But Mia did say, Gordon, you did put that out there. But who cares? Mia, you built on it. Because let me tell you something. TMZ is not equal to Bravo. TMZ is not equal to Bravo. You can say whatever you want there over on the TMZ. We may not catch it. But once you brought it to Bravo and you got Ink talking about, yeah, that's my son over there, or it could be their fathers, like you was playing with them kids in that paternity on Bravo. We ain't paying no attention to what Gordon doing over there on the TMZ. But anyway, Ray put some of Karen business in the streets. Ray said when Karen was pregnant with Raven, she tried to come up here and talking about blue eyes running my family. And Ray was like, no, ma'am, have a blue-eyed baby over here. You're going to be on them streets, on the curb. Grand dame, you will not be. Karen, you've been messing with blue eyes for that long. I guess. Anyway, stay telling on themselves. I hope they bring Karen. Why you ain't gonna come to the reunion? We had to hear about this. You telling Ray the blue eyes running your family, because you could have said green. You know, I will say I do have a cousin that does have blonde hair and blue eyes, but in most African American families that I know, blonde hair and green eyes are very typical. Because like my sister has green eyes, my auntie had blonde hair and hazel eyes. Her name was Blondie. Like, I get it. And we don't have to announce it that, you know, Karen, you lightly melanated. You might have a lightly melanated baby. You ain't got to make no announcement about the blue eyes. Now the blue eyes would have we would have had to swab the cheeks for that. But I do have a little baby cousin that has blue eyes. He probably about 7 or 8 now, though. Anyway, it would be crazy. They'd be like, if they would have rang up Sharice and said, girl, get a dress out that closet. Karen ain't show up. Come on down to the reunion and drag her. You know, Sharice got on the phone with Giselle, Robin, and Ashley, and they dragged the hell out of Karen on a 4-way conversation. At least Giselle and Robin and Sharice got on a phone call, a 3-way, and they were dragging the hell out of Karen. I wish I could have heard it. I don't like none of them hoes, but and I meant to call them hoes. I don't like them, but they had a good time on that phone call. Let's see what happened next. Giselle takes the ladies college shopping. Not entertaining. Don't care. I do like that Giselle is buying her daughter's investment properties. I know that's something my dad talked about with my son when he was down in Savannah. He's not at Savannah State anymore, but he was at Savannah State. And my dad was like, he really was feeling Savannah. He was like, I might buy an investment house and put it in Cheek's name down here in Savannah, and the family can come down here and use it when they want to visit him. and then he could use it as an Airbnb, as an investment income. But he transferred out of Savannah and that went out the door. So I think that is, if you can afford to do it for your children, great. But what I don't like is people like Ashley and Giselle, who at the time when Candace came on the show and her mother's investment property, they dragged her. She can't pay her bills. Her mama pay her bills. She ain't got no life without her mama money. But it's funny how you all want to set your children up to be in the same position as Candace, but you dragged Candace. I'm going to leave that there. Let's get to the end of this episode so I can get out of here. I got my little heater on. It is starting to warm up a little bit up here, but the end of the episode, you know, at some point, Ray had to run down the tea to Karen, and Karen has to run down the tea to Giselle. I feel like Karen ran down the tea to Giselle because she wanted Giselle to be the bone collector and to drag Mia because she knew Mia was going to throw that drunk driving back in your face like she did. To me, Karen, I get it. It's a legal matter. You can't talk about it. But when you got these kind of skeletons in your closet, you need to this season just sit back and be cute. If I was Karen this season, I just would have pulled out my best outfits and sat back and be cute. I wouldn't be starting shit with nobody. Especially not no gutter bitch like Mia. I know they dragging Karen at this reunion. And I'm going to hate to see it, but I'm going to watch it. But anyway, Karen and Jizzy get to confronting Mia. The people down at the drag show, take that shit outside. Y'all being loud. So, you know, they usher their argument outside and they got to throw in Mia's face like, we tired of you lying. You been knew that Jeremiah was Gordon's baby and you out here crying and you been knew where them kids was. You knew that Gordon was going to pick them up and you down at the Panama crying with no tears coming out your eyes. We tired of you lying, girl. I'm like, it took y'all all these seasons to be tired. She been lying since the first season she been on the show. She been lying. And then her sidekick is always giving confirmation to her lies. Like, well, it was an over-the-counter test, so that don't really count. They got to get another one. And then here go Mia. But I just told her about it a week ago. Girl, when y'all just in Panama a week ago crying about it, look, I don't care nothing about them arguing with Mia. And of course, Mia threw it in her face like, girl, when you ready to talk about drinking and driving, then you can ask me about the paternity of my kids. I ain't mad at it. That's why you should let Giselle drag Mia, because Mia is going to come for you. You better hope they fire Mia, because if they bring Mia back next season and you come back, Karen, it's just going to be a continuation. Because I don't think Mia give a damn about you going to rehab, especially you don't put her rehab all in the streets, that she was all in the rehab for the opioids. Like, Karen probably really did quit. I don't think her skin is thick enough. At 60, the last thing I want to do is argue with a bunch of 30-year-olds who look like they 40-year-olds about some shit. You know, it's not really what I would be wanting to do, but I mean, Karen, make your money. Do what you got to do. Maybe they can give you a little spinoff. What would Karen spinoff about? Because even Giselle was like, we all know Karen step out with the blue eyes. That ain't no new tea. That ain't even nothing to even drag her about no more. I don't think that's fair, because we all knew Juan was stepping out on Robin, but we was constantly dragging Robin about it. Like, I don't know. I'm over Potomac. I need y'all ladies to pick it up. This shit is boring. When is Karen gonna start talking shit about Wendy? That was all up in the super trailer that Wendy is upset and Stacey is like, well, Karen was over there talking shit about you and Wendy when is that gonna happen? The last episode? Y'all done filmed the reunion. This shit almost over. Anyway, I'm cursing too much. That means it's time to end this live. I'm about to go downstairs and have a good time. I will be back. I don't know when, because I am kicking it for the last weekend this weekend. So I will be out in the streets again. But I will be back. It might be another Monday or Tuesday before I come back with Weekend in Reality. This week is the finale for Love and Marriage Huntsville. I believe they say it's going to be a 2-part reunion. I do want to see what they talk about at the reunion, because word on the Twitter curb is that Kimmy drags the shit out of Melody, cusses her clean out, and Melody cries and runs off the stage. I want to see how that goes down. I want to see how. You think it's about the red lipstick? You was being messy this season, Mel. I don't care. I hope the reunion is good. We'll see. I don't want to see Stormy. We know we ain't gonna see Moses because he in jail. I said Stormy. Is Stormy the one? Not Stormy. I done got that lady name wrong. What's that lady name who husband in jail? Whoever it is, I don't want to see her. I really don't care about Destiny. I don't care nothing about Chris or Nell. Can Melody and Martell even be at the reunion together? Like, this reunion gonna be a shit show. Anyway, we're gonna watch it and talk about it, y'all. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Let's talk about the announcements, what's coming up this week. Tomorrow night, I'm gonna try to get with L Train to do a Harlem recap of season 1 and season 2 and what we're looking forward to in the final season 3 of Harlem. Me and L Train will be reviewing that show. It comes on Amazon Prime, I believe, or Stars, one of them. I don't forget. But Harlem is coming back this Thursday. So I'm going to try to do something with L Train. I don't know what day or time we're going to review, but we're going to get together on Twitter and get that worked out tonight. I have the challenge reunion for season 40. I fell asleep on that shit, y'all. It was boring. I don't care. I'm going to watch part 2 tomorrow night. I might do a challenge season 40 reunion review. If I fall asleep on it again, I probably won't. But I will be talking All Stars 5 this week. I have reached out to Drew and Chantel. We will be doing another game night for the challenge All Stars 5. It'll probably be one day this weekend. When I get off of here, I will confirm a date and time with them and let you know. What else is coming up? All Stars 5 is coming up. We're still in Traders. You know, me, Really B, Ebby, El Teddy do Traders on Friday nights. Drag Race panel is on Saturday nights. And I forget what all I do. But also be on the lookout. In a couple of weeks, we got Ready to Love coming back. Family or Fiance. I love Family or Fiance and talking about other people's business and kind of just seeing whose stories kind of touch home, because sometimes I still learn things from other people's stories on Family or Fiance, so look out for that. It's so much content coming, and I'm still want to do movies. I'm still going to get into makeup. Don't worry, the makeup videos are coming. I kind of want to get into skincare too, but subscribe to the channel, y'all. Kiss My Cheeks TV. Follow me on all social media platforms at Kiss My Cheeks TV, and I'll holla at y'all later. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Bye.